Coaches Chat, where we get to know those that we work for a little bit better.
We're out today at Snow Canyon High School, Warrior Nation, visiting with Doug Meacham, head coach boys varsity basketball. Coach, always a pleasure. Thank you for having us out.
Awesome. It's great to visit with you, Bob.
Good. How's the preseason going?
You know, it's we feel fortunate with this time that we're in right now. Any chance we get to be in a gym, I think this 2020 has taught us that we're lucky to be able to play sports and get together. So we've had, I think, especially in St. George area, the chance to maybe do more than some other places and feel grateful for the chance to compete and play.
Yep. Help us get to know you a little bit better away from the court.
Yeah.
In other words, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm father of 4 great kids. My wife, we've been married now 22 years now.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it's been fun, a fun ride. I grew up in American Fork, played different sports there, and
any good?
I'm always better in my mind than I was then. And in fact, I went to my football coach / basketball coach, and I said to him, hey, wondering what next level I could play, if I could go to either play football or basketball. And I was hoping he'd give me a different answer, but he told me I had a better shot at making it in football. And I enjoyed football, but I really loved basketball. And I had some opportunities along the way at a Snow College, and then eventually I walked on at University of Utah.
Really?
And I played 94 to 96. I was there as a junior, senior. And I was one of those guys that Majerus would put on Andre Miller to just guard him and dog him all day. I was one of those weird guys that liked practice. So that's kind of where my background went in terms of basketball. And I ended up going back to American Fork and replaced my former coach. And was there as a head coach for 16 years. And things.
That's a career.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was 4 years as an assistant first, and so I felt pretty lucky to be able to be there, and then got the opportunity to come down and be here at Snow Canyon. Every day I kind of pinch myself because this is an awesome place to live. It's really awesome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So what got you initially started in coaching? When did you?
It's a great question.
See that?
I got the opportunity to just coach a sophomore team. And after you finish, playing and being around the game as a player, you're looking to fill that void a little bit of that competition and camaraderie. And you can find it in a lot of different ways. But I got the chance to coach a sophomore team and this great group of kids that weren't maybe as talented. I got to kind of watch them play together, and I had the butterflies, I had the excitement as a coach, and I just felt like, that would be great. And I looked at my former coaches in football and basketball, and they were such great mentors to me. And I just felt like, they had something that I wanted a part of. And I've been, coaching ever since, and it's been a blessing. I feel lucky to be able to do it.
Good for you. The Warriors,
Yeah.
How are you going to be this year?
I'm excited. I feel like our most talented player has been one of our hardest workers, in this Lyman Simmons. And when you have a combination of that, good things can happen. He's a humble kid that doesn't know maybe how good he can be, but he's developing, and he's bringing guys around him in terms of just making them better. And I've got some just some kids, a lot of kids returning with some experience. And they're making progress. We've won more this summer than we have the previous 2 summers, and so that's always a good sign that they're figuring out winning. You got to learn how to win.
Absolutely. Turn the tables a little bit here. Officials, referee, officiating. I mentioned those words. What's the knee-jerk reaction?
A hard job. I mean, that's my first thing. Is I have my players ref Little League games, or we do some fall tournaments. I do it specifically so they can see how hard it is to ref. And for me, I feel like that gives players a perspective of, you really think it's easy to make the right call. And so I think that that's for me, and I've reffed before in summer games and just different things where it's a very tough game to ref, especially young kids, that travel every time. And so I really compliment them for doing a hard job, and then parents have gotten more vocal over the years, and it's really a tough job, but I respect them. I mean, I do. I know it's not an easy deal.
Game day.
Game day is one of those things where I look forward to the season. You go all off season and summer preparing for game days. I get to that parent meeting and it's the best time of year because now it's okay. We're going. Game day for me is the time to kind of take a breath and enjoy the moments before. That's the beautiful thing about sports is the moments before. So those are special. I love practice, but game days just have that special feeling of excitement, anticipation, and I had an old coach named Coach Ingersoll that used to say, "Men, the hay's in the barn," and that's all it is. You've hopefully done your work, and you don't have to do so much on game day other than encourage and support.
Yep. From a official's point of view,
Yeah.
we know where we're going.
Yeah.
We've been assigned the game. We know who we're going with.
Yeah.
We know where we're going to meet. We know what time the game starts, so we can arrange our meals, snacks accordingly, and we know where we're going.
Yeah.
When we come to Warrior Nation, we know it's going to be loud. We know it's going to be participative and involved.
Yeah.
We know your coaching style. We know the playing style. Those type of things.
Yeah.
Where do officials come into your game day mix? When you know who's coming, when you see who's here, what's your reaction when you find that out?
It's been, as I coached for 20 years up north, my anticipation of knowing when the refs walk in, okay, so this is kind of how the game's going to go, or this ref, you just have personalities that handle games a certain way. I just am of the belief that we have the ability as a player and a coach to dictate how the game goes. And one of the things that's part of the game is there's going to be some missed calls. And so I really try to preach to our guys that sometimes you have to, play better than some missed calls. And that's the nature of the game. But to be honest, down south, I feel like I haven't had as many of those, oh no, I've got so-and-so. And I just haven't. I really feel like there's guys down here working hard. And to me, if a ref is making the effort to get in the right position, and you see him, he's sprinting, he's getting to that, to me that's as much as anything like I feel for my players when they're making that effort. I'm going to live with a couple mistakes if they're working hard.
As the game gets underway and we get into a flow, we miss calls, and we know we miss them. We miss them.
Yeah.
When that happens, how best do you see handling that situation?
Again, it's the referee that will listen, make eye contact, and not take a "I'm not going to hear from you" type of attitude. And I think there's a line. I think coaches should be able to vent. There's the pressure. And the reality is sometimes that coach wants to show those players he's fighting for them. And I think that's the fine line, is because, I've been accused of, I don't know that you care about winning as much. And I want to win in the worst way. But sometimes if I'm not fighting for my guys, then they don't, you know what I mean? It's one of those challenges that you have to kind of fight, in battle.
Sometimes there's more to the frustration than a simple missed call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From your perspective, all at once tomorrow we made you head of the officials.
Yeah.
What would be one of the first things you'd change?
I think just training. I think the biggest thing is I've seen refs and had really good refs down south and up north who have asked me for film. And to me, I say that's great. I'm happy to share film, and because we watch film. The next morning after the game, we're in for an hour and a half watching and break down films, and that's how we get better. And I think that can be something that young officials, if they watch themselves and see, okay, I could have let that one go, or man, I really missed that one. That's growth. That's learning.
Right. Final thoughts. Wrap up.
Again, I think this NBA bubble that was happening this last few months, I've sure learned a lot about referees. I think it's awesome that they've had them on a microphone, because everybody gets to hear how intelligent these refs, and they get it right a lot of the times, and they obviously have the replay and the benefit of that in situations, but the articulation, the understanding of the rules, they're professionals. And I think that's something that, even as a teacher and educator, we should take our job serious in terms of education and training to just be the best we can in that profession. But I respect the referees that we have down here. I'm excited to hear that they have a program like this that can help, make themselves better and ultimately help with youth sports and high school athletics down here.
Good. I think we're done.
Okay.
For now, at least.
Awesome.
Hopefully see you on the court soon, Coach.
Okay. Hey, thank you.